We're now going to look at an example of the inventory costing methods. And the question is to calculate the cost of goods sold and the ending inventory. And we're going to do this question 3 times. First time using FIFO method, then we'll use the LIFO method, and then we'll use the moving average method. So have a look at the information up here. It says during the month of September, Wombat experiences the following inventory activity. So we have the dates, and you can see it goes in date order. We have the beginning inventory. The first number here is the quantity of units. We have 40 units. This next number is the unit cost, which means the cost for 1 unit. And then this is the total amount spent. So 40 times 12 equals 480. Now, we have really 2 things that can happen with the inventory. We can buy the inventory, purchase, or sell the inventory. What we're going to do is to record this information into the table down here, and then we're going to calculate at the end the cost of goods sold or the cost of sales and the ending inventory. So I'm actually going to go over into Excel and complete this in an Excel document, and I want you to copy it down into the document below. So if I explain this table, over here we have the inventory on hand, and the inventory on hand is your ending balance. And as we said, there are 2 things that can happen. You can purchase inventory. If you purchase inventory, this will increase your total balance. And the other thing that could happen is you could sell inventory. And if you sell inventory, this is going to decrease your balance. So for every date, it's either a purchase or a sale. And then after we record that, we then calculate what the balance will be. Okay, so I'm going to start off with putting in the beginning inventory down. We have 40 units and $12 each. So you can use Excel really nicely to do some formulas. 40 times 12 is 480. We already knew that anyway. So then I step down to the next date. The next date is a purchase transaction. And so I copy in the information there, 60 units, $13, and that's 780. So we've done that. The next thing we need to do is to get the balance. So first you copy down the balance that you already recorded, and then you put your new balance underneath. So we can now find our totals. If we add that up together, in total we have got 100 units, and we can add up the total cost here to see how much money we've spent. And I'll make that bold there. So then we go down to the next date, which is the 10th of September, and it's a sale. So the sale goes into this column here, inventory sold. Now, what method are we using? I haven't really explained that yet. I'm going to use the FIFO method. So far it didn't matter what method we're using. When you make the sale, that's where it matters what method. Now the sale here is minus 65. So we've sold 65 units. Okay, for the FIFO method, the first one you buy is sold first. So the first one I bought was the beginning inventory. That was actually bought last month. So I'm going to copy all of that down into my sale column. The first one I buy is sold first. Now that's 40 units, and my total sale was 65, so it's not enough. So then I go down to my second purchase. I'll pick another bright color. I'll just do that in a dark green. Now, did I sell all of these? No, because the total sale over here is 65. I've already got 40. So how many do I need here? I need 25. How much do these cost? $13 each. So 25 times 13, and we get that total cost. So just check, does 40 plus 25 equal total sales? 65? 65, yes. and we add these two numbers up together, and that's your cost of sales amount. All right, next thing we need to do is to work out what have we got left. Now, all of these were sold and gone, but here we had 60 and here we've sold 25 of them. So to get our ending balance here equals 60 minus the 25. This will be how many is left. These cost $13 each. So 35 times 13, this is my ending inventory. It's what I have left. Okay, next one, I have 15th of September is a purchase. It's 30 units, $14 each, 420. So after each transaction, we get the balance. I copy down my old balance. Whoops, that didn't really work. Okay, I copy down my new purchase and I put that underneath, and we can add them up and see how much we have. We've got 65 units, and we can find out how much we've paid for all of that. And this is our balance here. All right, back to the question, 23 September, it's another purchase. Okay, so we'll put that in. We have 45 units, $15, and that's 675. Okay, so our balance now, we're going to copy down. See if that works this time. Copy down what we already had and then put our new one underneath. And let's add them up. So we have 110 units. And how much did all of these cost us? Cost us this much here. Okay, last one, 30 September. It's a sale of 50. Okay, so this is where we need to know what method we're using. Okay, first one purchased is sold first. So I'm going to copy all of that down. Okay, is that enough? This is 35 units and we've sold 50 units. So then I go to my second one purchased. Am I going to sell all of it? I need enough to add up to 50. So that means 15 of these, and they cost $14 each. So 15 times 14. And let's add up the total. Now, you should get 35 plus 15 equals the total sales units for that transaction. And we'll add this up to get our total here. Okay, now we can find our ending balance. All of this is sold. Some of this is sold. We had 30. We've sold 15. This means 15 is left of these $14 items. Calculate how much that is. And all of this is still available. None of that has been sold. So finally, we can add up to find our ending balance. We have 60 units left in ending balance, and that's $885. Okay, our last step is to find the cost of sales, which is the same thing as your cost of goods sold. So this is your sold column. This is the quantity of units sold. This is the price per unit. This number here is the cost of sales. So for this month, the cost of sales is $805 plus $665. Your ending inventory is what you have left. It's the $885 left. That's the FIFO method. So we're now going to do the question again, and this time I'm going to be using the LIFO method. LIFO means last in, first out. And this is the last inventory that you purchased. So the last inventory you purchased is your newest, most recent, up-to-date inventory. That's what is sold first. The table is exactly the same and the question is exactly the same. So the beginning inventory has been listed in the table. The first purchase has been listed. And so this shows us that we have 40 units and they cost $12 each. So it cost us $480. And then we have 60 units for $13 each, and this cost $780. So altogether I have 100 units and I've spent $1,260 on inventory. When you get to the sale, this is when you do things a little bit differently. So the sale was 65 units on the 10th of September. In the LIFO method, you get the last one that you purchased and you sell that first. The last one we purchased, we're going to sell first. Now, is this enough? This is 60 and we have sold 65. So then I go up here and I've got to sell some of these, not all of them, just some. How many of these? It's got to add up to 65, so it will only be 5. And these cost $12 each. So 5 times 12, and then we can add this up to give our cost of sales on this day, and 60 plus 5, we have 65 total. Now to figure out what we have left, all of our new purchase was sold, leaving the old one, 40, and 5 of these were sold. 40 minus 5 means 35 are left. These are $12 items, and we can get our total here by multiplying. Okay, going back to the question, we have a purchase and then another purchase. So I'm going to record these down. 30 times 14, we've spent $420. So I'm going to copy down my old inventory and I'm going to put my new inventory underneath. So altogether I have 65 units. Some of them cost $12, some of them cost $14, and that's $840. Back to the question. The next date is another purchase, 45 units. 45 units, $15, $675. So I copy down my previous balance and I put my new balance underneath and we get our total. So we add up all the units. Now, what you will notice is that it doesn't matter what method we use, these total units will always be the same, but the total cost will be different depending on which method that you use. Okay, our last step is a sale of 50 units. And remember, we're using the LIFO method. So the last one that we purchase, our most newest and recent, is going to be sold first. Now, is that enough? That's 45, and we've sold 50. So we go up here, and we're going to sell some of these. There's 30 here. We didn't sell all of them. We only need 5 to add up to 50. These cost $14 each. And so we have 5 times 14 here. Adding up the total, we can see that that's 50 units. And we add that up there. Now, what is our balance? Okay, so let's look at what we sold. All of these are sold, so they're gone. For these units here, we've only sold 5 of them. So 30 minus 5 means that we have 30 minus 5 means we have 25 of these $14 left. So we'll copy that down. Okay, 25 times 14. Okay, and then we go up here to all these old ones, and we didn't even sell any of those at all. So I'll just copy those straight down. So 35 plus 25, add that up. This is how many units I have left. And notice it's the same quantity that we had for FIFO method. But the cost of ending inventory, we add these two up, is going to be different. So our cost of sales is going to be 840 plus 745, and the ending inventory is going to be this number here, $770. All right, we've finished LIFO. Now I'm going to demonstrate the moving average. So can you get your table ready? Okay, so a fresh table here, and we're now going to do the moving average method. So what makes this method different is that every time you make a sale, then you need to calculate the average cost. So this is how I describe the formula. It's the total cost divided by the total units. So I've put in the beginning inventory and I've put in the purchase. That's been the same in every question. Then 10th of September, we've sold 65 units. This is where it depends on what method you're using. So for the moving average method, you just put 65 here. Now for the unit cost, this is where we need to calculate the average cost using our formula, is the total cost. This number here is the total cost. Divided by total units, this number here is the total units. So you grab your calculator and you get the total cost, you divide it by the total units, and you'll get the answer 12.6. So our total here is 65 times 12.6. Okay, so what is our balance, or how many units do we have left? We had 100 and we've sold 65. 100 minus 65 means there's 35 left. I'm going to use the average cost again. So 35 times the average cost. This is what we have left in our inventory on hand. So next we have the purchase on the 15th of September. So I've included all that here. And now we get our balance where we copy down what we already had, and we get our new purchase and we copy that underneath. And that means altogether I have 65 units, and that's $861 in total. Okay, and so those two totals are going to be important. All right, next is another purchase. Okay, put it in, 45, $15, and 675. So we copy down what we already have in our balances, and we put our new balance underneath, and we get our totals. So we have 35 plus 30 plus 45. Oh dear. All right, let's try that again. 35 plus 30 plus 45, 110 units. So the quantity of units has been the same in every different method we've used. But this cost is going to be different because of how we've allocated the cost. And the 30th of September is a sale of 50. Just highlight those totals. Okay, sale, 50 units. So just type 50 here. Now what we need to do is calculate the average. So the average is the total cost divided by the total units. So grab your calculator. Could you work that out now? Okay, so when I've worked that out, I'll write it down, this really long number, 0.9636364. Okay, you don't need to write that whole number down, Let's just round it to 13.96 here. Okay, so 50 times 13.96, we're going to get $6.98. And now let's work out what we have left. We had 110 units and I've sold 50, so that's a minus. 110 minus 50 means there are 60 left, and I'm going to use my average cost again. So I have 60 times 13.96, and I'm going to round my answer to 838. So my cost of sales, I'm going to add up all the cost of what I've sold. My ending inventory is just what I have left at the end of the month, and it's $838.